Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Today, I'm just using a different approach here, the one which we used to have regularly on our offline classes, right? Chalk and a board. Because today I want to teach you, or today we are going to learn basically matrix multiplication, which can be done using a divide and conquer method. Okay. Now, before actually I begin into how this particular multiplication of a matrix is done on using the divide and conquer, first let us briefly understand the matrix and how the matrix multiplications are done. Okay. Now, you probably are aware that matrix means, suppose if I take a matrix, say there is a matrix by the name A. Is it visible? The what I'm writing on the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So,
If
yes.
there is a matrix A and assume that the matrix order is say 3 cross 2. Okay. When we say the matrix order, what actually we mean by the matrix order? Can anyone let me know?
Rows, two,
Yes.
two column.
The number
Three
of rows
rows.
and number of columns, isn't it? Now, 3 cross 2 means there are the first number indicates the number of rows and the second
Rows.
one indicates the number of columns, isn't it? So the matrix A consists of 3 rows and 2 columns. Correct? Now, if assume that there is another matrix, say matrix B, and this particular matrix B is of the size, consider it to be say 4 cross 3. It is of the size 4 cross 3. That means the matrix B consists of 4 rows and 3 columns. Is it possible for us to have the multiplication between A and B? Can we perform A and B?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Any other answers? Why, Shraddha? Why it is not possible?
Sir, the rows and columns in both the matrices are different. They should match at least the rows and the columns in both the matrices.
So you mean to say the 4 cross 3, the second matrix which I have taken B, it should also be of the same size, like 3 cross 2 itself?
No, sir. Only the rows should be the same, and the A matrix column should be the same.
So something like this, 3 cross 3. Can I perform now?
No, sir.
Then when we can perform the matrix multiplications?
So the A matrix columns and the B matrix rows should be the same in the order.
A matrix rows and B matrix columns should be in the same order. Right? It should be same in number. That is, in the A matrix, the number of rows are 3. Then, in the B matrix, the number of columns should be 3 itself. It can have any number of rows here. For instance, I can take it to be a 1 cross 3. If the number of rows in the matrix A are equal to the number of columns in the matrix B, then only we can perform matrix multiplication. Otherwise, we can't perform the matrix multiplication. This is the background or the basic knowledge one should have in order to perform the matrix multiplications. Okay. Now, suppose, let me consider a simple term here. Suppose, if there is a matrix A, let's have the number. I will just try to write not actual numbers, but it's a synonym. Probably I can say this is A11, then this next A12, then B11, sorry, A21, then A22. What type of matrix is this?
2 into 2 order.
2 into 2 order. So what can we call 2 into 2 order as?
Square matrix.
Yes, very good. We can call it to be a square matrix. So point of discussion is on the square matrix. Let us have a matrix A and at the same time let us have a matrix B. The matrix B also will have the same number of rows and same number of columns since it is a square matrix. Say B11, B12, B21 and B22 are the elements of the matrix B. Okay. Now, if I want to perform the matrix multiplication of A and B and arrive at the say matrix C, right? Matrix C. Again, matrix C will have certain elements there. I can call it to be a C11, C12, then C21, and then C22 as the resultant matrix, which is basically C is nothing but A into B. Okay. Now. The matrix multiplication is not as the same how we perform the matrix addition or the subtraction. It differs in the computation of every element of the matrix here. Every element of this particular matrix. Does anyone know how to arrive or how to calculate the element C1? Does anybody know how can I calculate the matrix multiplication? If I want to know the C1, how can I perform? Anyone?
A11 into B11 plus A11 into B21.
First element of the matrix, resultant matrix is first row, first column, that is A11. Yes, Shraddha. Next, A11 multiplied by
B11.
B11. Okay. Then plus
A11 into B21.
A11 into
B21.
no, not A11 into B21 it is.
Yes, sir.
It is A12 into B21, right? Look at here. The first element of the C, that is C11, is nothing but A11 into B11, right? And plus A12 B21, that is nothing but the first row and then first column has to be taken. A11 into B11 plus A12 into B21. Are you able to recollect the matrix multiplications?
Yes, sir.
Now, C12, how can we calculate C12?
A21.
A21, no. It is
Sorry,
nothing
A1.
but the
A11.
first, then second column. First row of A, second column of B. Nothing but A11 into B12, A11 into B12, then plus A12 into B22, A12 into B22. Followed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, C21, that is second row, first column. How can we compute?
A21
A22.
into A22.
Can you tell me the number, which row in the A and which column in the second B matrix?
Second row, first column.
First
Second
column.
row, first column. Very good. So A21 into B11 plus A22 into B21. Right? Then similarly, the last cell, that last element, C22, second row of A, second column of B. So what we will get here? A21 into B12 plus A22 into B22. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now you might be wondering, Why sir is teaching now matrix multiplication? Why we are going into a mathematics mode here from DAP, right? This is essential. This is the background knowledge which we require in order to know the matrix multiplication which we use as part of the divide and conquer. Now, let us pay attention to the simple 2 cross 2 matrix. Okay, now let us try to know how many matrix multiplications are there, and probably how many multiplication operations are here, and how many addition or subtraction operations are here. Can you tell me in this particular 4 formulas, how many multiplication operations are there?
8.
8. Okay. What about addition or subtraction?
Addition 4.
Addition 4.
4, right? There are 8 multiplication and there are 4 additions. There are 8 multiplications and 4 additions, right? Now, if you recollect back the programs which we have written earlier for matrix addition. For matrix addition, how many nested for loops are required? Can you recollect?
2.
For matrix addition, how many nested for loops are required if you want to write a program?
2. 2.
2 for loops? 2 for loops. So 2 for loops means the complexity will be, if you take, it is going to be big O of n square, isn't it? It is going to be big O of n square, right? In the same way, if we think of matrix multiplication, then it requires basically 3 nested for loops. It requires 3 nested for loops. 3 nested for loops means the complexity is going to be big O of n cube. It is going to be big O of n cube. You can see how big the computation time or the space it is going to use if we make use of the traditional matrix multiplication. The maximum time or the maximum time taken by that particular algorithm, if we use in this convention, then it is going to be a big O of n cube, as it may require 3 problems to solve. Okay, how I have if the 3 problems are there, then it is going to be a big O of n cube. You might have seen in the previous units examples. If there is a single for loop, then the complexity is big O of n. If we use 2, then it keeps on incrementing, isn't it? Have you seen that? Have you made that observation?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, the second point is the time taken by the multiplication operation or division operation is much more longer than the amount of time required for addition or subtraction. If you have keenly observed your first semester computer fundamentals, okay, how the computer works or how do the computer performs the addition, subtraction, and multiplication and division, you might have seen them. Every number will be divided or converted into a binary numbers, and then the binary arithmetic operations will perform the addition, subtraction, multiplication, or the division. Multiplication is nothing but what? Repeated addition of the numbers. Can we say something like that? Multiplication operation is nothing but what? Repeated addition of the numbers. Can we make such a statement?
Yes, sir.
Right? That is something, simple example if I want to give you, suppose if there is a 5 plus 6, then there is only one operation addition over here. But if I write here 5 multiplied by 6, isn't it we are adding 5 6 times or 6 5 times?
Yes, sir.
Right? Can we think in this way? Can we say that now multiplication requires much more longer time to perform the operations than the simple addition or the subtraction?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, why this concept we are looking here? Because in the conventional method, in this particular simple example, where the matrix is of the form 2 cross 2, okay, then it requires 8 multiplications and 4 additions. 8 multiplication and 4 addition, whose big O is going to be a n cube, big O of n cube, which is a tremendous amount of a time to calculate the matrix multiplications. Then how can we reduce it? How can we bring down the time complexity of the matrix multiplication operations? Okay. Earlier in the 1960s decade, there was a researcher by the name Strathman. What he did was he figured out certain formulas. Using that particular formulae, the matrix multiplication can be done much simpler than the conventional method, which was requiring 8 multiplications. Let us try to only focus upon the number of multiplications involved here. Addition or subtraction we can ignore as of now. Okay. He designed certain formulas, and in that particular formula, he came up with certain assumption or the formulas where there were 7 multiplications, and there were roughly around 18 additions or subtractions. 18 additions or subtractions. If you observe the number of multiplications, what the Strathman has come up, there the number of multiplication for 2 cross 2 matrix was 1 less than the traditional method, which has greatly contributed in bringing down the time complexity. If this particular Strathman, whatever he has proposed the formulas, if it is applied, then the time complexity was brought down to something big O of n to the power of 2.81. Big O of n to the power of 2.81, which was much less than n raised to 3. You might say, sir, how come this just 3 in the conventional method, and if we apply the divide and conquer, which was proposed by the Strathman, we get a big O of 2.1. How it contributes, how it differs, right? If the n value is simple as 2, you can see it was 8 and 7 multiplications. But the n value keeps on increasing. If the number of rows and number of columns are more and more, then the time taken by the conventional method is much more longer than what the Strathman has arrived at, which was using the again divide and conquer method. So basically, to give an analogy or a understanding that the conventional method, how do we perform the matrix multiplication, and if we go with that, we get a big O of n cube as the time complexity, and similarly based upon that the space will be taken up. But if we make use of something called as a divide and conquer, then according to the Strathman's method, we can reduce the time complexity by up to n raised to 2.8, which will require 7 multiplications and 18 additions or subtraction. Okay. Now the question is, how can we apply the divide and conquer method for the matrix multiplication? Okay, let us understand that part also. Okay. Is the background understood, students? Okay. Now, the Strathman, what he has proposed, he says that the matrices should be the square matrices. The matrix multiplication what we need to perform should be of the square matrices. That means the number of rows and columns in the A and in the B should be the same number. It should be a n cross n matrix. Then only that particular operation can be performed, or whatever he has proposed, those formulas can be made use. Okay. Now, assume that there is a matrix. I'm just taking one particular matrix. Say A11, A12, A13, A14, A21, A22, A23, A24, A31, A32, A33 and A34. The last row would be A41, A42, A43 and A44 are the elements of a particular matrix. Is it visible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the point of discussion is that the matrices should be of the square matrices only. Then only we can apply the Strasson's method or the Strasson's multiplication method, wherein we can divide the matrix into sub-matrices. Right? As we know, divide and conquer means what? We need to divide the given problem into two different parts. Right? But here, if you look into the problem, it is a matrix here. How can we divide? Right? If you look at here, the number of rows and number of columns, or rather you can say the order of this matrix is 4 cross 4. It is of the order 4 cross 4. Right? This particular 4 cross 4 order can be divided into 4 different submodules of the type 2 cross 2. Can we divide this particular 4 cross 4 matrix into 2 cross 2 matrices, a set of 4 2 cross 2 matrices?
Yes, sir.
How? Look at here. If like this, we get what? 4 different quadrants here, right? This can be, we can say this is an n by 2, this is also a n by 2, this is n by 2 and the other one is also n by 2. If there are a square matrices, then we need to divide those square matrices into n by 2 matrices. Keep on dividing the matrices until we know that there is a proper solution, or until we reach the sub-problem which we can call it to be a small problem. We know the meaning of small problem. Small problem means we know the solution to it. Right? The solution or the small problem, we can say, if the elements of the matrix is 1, if assume that if the matrix contains only one element, that means suppose if A is the matrix and its elements are what? A11. Correct? Suppose if there is one more matrix B and the B matrix contains only one, that is B11. Can we perform directly the multiplication operation here? Yes, we do can confirm. How? C11 is nothing but A1 into B11. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If the matrix is divided such a way that if we reach to a small problem, that is nothing but the matrix consists of, or the sub-matrix consists of only one element, then directly we can multiply the elements of those matrices. Like C11 is going to be A11 into B11. But most of the time we can't reach to up to the one element. We may reach at the sub-problem where the element comes to a 2 cross 2 matrix, where it reaches to the 2 cross 2 matrix, right? Where every matrix consists of 2 rows and 2 columns, and that resultant matrix will also consist of 2 cross 2 matrix. And Strassen has provided the formulas to solve or the perform the matrix multiplication for the order of 2 cross 2 itself. That means if we are dividing the matrices, the original matrices into partitions, then we have to arrive at a situation when the sub-matrix should consist of 2 cross 2 matrices. It should consist of 2 cross 2 matrices. Once we arrive at that, then very easily we can perform the matrix multiplication using the 7 formulas which he has proposed, which consist of 7 multiplication and 18 addition or subtraction. Using that very easily we can calculate the matrix multiplication and then combine it together. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I have a question. If you have understood, okay, before that, let me ask you a question. Any doubt here? Are there any doubts? Okay, that
No,
means there
sir.
are no doubts. So the first thing is what? The assumption is what? The Strasson's multiplication can be performed only when the order of the matrix is a square matrix. Okay. Square matrix means now if I have the elements like this, if I have the elements in this way, how many rows and how many columns are here?
3 cross 3.
3 cross 3.
3 into
3 cross 3 means if you try to perform 3 to the power of 3, we get something as a 9. This 9 is not a power of 2. This is 9 is not a power of 2. Basically, what I try to say is that can we divide this particular matrix, okay, which is of a 3 cross 2 into a 4 quadrants?
No, sir.
Can I have a
No, sir.
possible 4 quadrants here?
No, sir.
No.
Sir.
Then in that case, how can we apply Strasson's multiplication here then? If you try to divide them, probably what we may get, this is the first half, possible, this is the second half. So on one quadrant we have 4 elements, on this side we have only 2 elements, the lower part of here we have 2 and here there is only 1 element. This is not an equal division here. And with this approach, we can't apply the Strasson's multiplication method. Then how can we find the solution to a matrix which is a square, but if you look into the number of elements in that, it is not a power of 2. Then how can we achieve this method? It can be performed. There is a workaround for this also. The workaround says that if there is a matrix, if there is a square matrix, the number of elements are not in power of 2. Basically, power of 2, what I mean actually here is that number of elements here are totally 9. Is this 9 a power of 2? Power of 2 means 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 3. Like this, if you go, do you get a value as 9? If you compute 2 to the power of any number whose value is 9?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, right? We may end up somewhere between 2 to the power of 3 and 2 to the power of 4, which is 8 and 16. Basically, what Stratton says that the number of elements in the matrix, it should be a first of all a square matrix, and the number of elements should be a power of 2. Means total number should be like 1, 4, 8, right, or 16, like that. If that is case, then only we can apply the Stratton. But we have a situation here where the matrix is a square matrix, but total number of elements are not in the power of 2. Then in that case, how can we try to modify our given elements such a way that we can still go ahead and use the Strasson's multiplication? The workaround is very simple here. There are 3 rows, 3 columns. I can't delete any of the rows, any of the columns here. If I delete, then the resultant matrix may not contain the proper result or the desired result. So what I can do here, I can add the number of rows and number of columns such a way that I can make it to be a 4 cross 4 matrix. How can I make this 3 cross 3 matrix into a 4 cross 4 matrix? By adding certain number of rows and certain number of columns. If I add one more row as element containing zeros as the value, and I can add one more column at the end containing the values as zeros. Right? Now look into the matrix. Tell me what is the order of this matrix?
4 cross 4.
4 cross
It
4.
is 4 cross 4. Is it in the power of 2?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
It is in the power of 2, 2 to the power of 4. Then in that case, we can easily divide it into 4 different formulas. And if you divide, we get equally same number of elements in all the matrices. If we have two matrices, to just summarize the thing, if we have the two matrices, say, let me rub this off first. If we have a matrix, say A of 3 cross 3, and if there is another matrix B of 3 cross 3, to apply the Strasson's multiplication method, we can convert this A matrix consisting of 4 cross 4, and we can multiply that with by converting the second matrix B again into a 4 cross 4, where the new row which we insert or the new column which we insert into the respective matrices should consist of the values as zeros. It should consist of values as zeros. Why only zeros? If we add up number of rows containing the zero and if we perform the matrix multiplications, then the resultant matrix, whatever we get, it will give us the same desired result as what we get it for 3 cross 3 or A and B matrix. If I convert a 3 cross 3 matrices into 4 cross 4 matrix by adding one row as the last containing 0 values and one more column containing 0 values, and if I perform the multiplication, that result is same as what I get the result for the original matrix. Right? You can try it out, you can work it out, you can take a simple example at home and try to figure out if we add the zeros as the rows and 0 as the column at the ends, perform the operations, perform the multiplication operation and perform with the also, and you can see the result is going to be same. But only thing is that in the resultant matrix will be again a 4 cross 4 itself. The resultant matrix is going to be a 4 cross 4 itself. Only thing is that the last element we need to take it out there also. The number of rows, how many we have inserted, and the number of columns, how many we have inserted, we have to or we have to reject them. Once we reject, then again we get a 3 cross 3 matrix. Following students?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This is just a background of the matrix multiplication, what a conventional method we do, and how the Strasson has come up with his procedure. Only thing is that the advantage of using the Strasson's multiplication method is that the time complexity will get drastically reduced if the number of n, that is the number of elements, keep on increasing in the matrix. Okay, now let us go through the formulae which the Strasson has developed here. Let me share the screen for a moment. Okay. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this is what we have discussed just now, right? If there is a square matrix A and B consisting of 2 rows and 2 columns, we can arrive at the resultant matrix, which will also consist of 2 rows and 2 columns. And these are the formulas for the traditional method, right? Where it involves 8 multiplications. You can see in one C1 we have 2 multiplication and 1 addition. Like that, there are total 8 multiplications and 4 additions, right? 8 multiplications means for a 2 cross 2 matrix, the number of for loops that we need to include in the program is going to be a 3 nested for loops, which will yield to a big O of n cube. Okay, now I will just move to the next here, right? Now, these are the formulas which the Strassen has given. If we make use of this, we can easily calculate the resultant matrix, which is the multiplication of 2 matrices of 2 cross 2 order. Now, just quickly observe here. Can you tell me how many multiplications are here and how many addition and subtractions are here? Count it.
7 multiplication.
7 multiplications. And are the number of additions and subtractions together, are they constituted to be a 18?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
18. That means if we make use of these formulas, okay, we can calculate the Strasson's multiplication, means we can calculate the multiplication of two matrices and we can arrive at the solution, right? But you may think now, sir, for us, this is much simpler. For a human being, this is much simpler, but this looks little complicated. Not little, but it's more complicated. Do you
Yes.
agree with me? For a
Yes, sir.
human being, is it so?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think do it right, which is if for human being, if it is difficult, then computer can solve it very easily, right? So for computer now, this is very easy compared with this because the number of multiplication these particular operations involves. There is one less number of multiplications here that will reduce the time complexity to much lower side. Okay, now fortunately, you do not have any algorithm for this. You do not have any algorithm for this. Be happy, right? There is no algorithm. But on the other hand, you will get in the exam as certain problems. Problems will consist of, they will give two different matrices of 2 cross 2 only, not bigger matrices, bigger order matrices. They will only give two different matrices of 2 cross 2. Very simple, right? If you remember these formulas, then you can calculate. C1, C2, C11, C12, C21, C22 are the elements of the resultant. These resultant matrix can be calculated using these formulas. P plus S minus T plus V. But what these P, Q, R, S, T, U, V are these things. Now you might be telling, sir, are you kidding? How can we remember these formulas? Do you have a question like that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? Need not to worry. I will tell you certain jugards. By remembering those simple jugards, you can remember these formulas, but not now. If I tell it now, then 100% you will forget those during the exams. So just before we conclude our semester, okay, that time I will explain you how you can remember the formulas for these things. The first 7 are really important, right? How you can remember these formulas, I will explain you kind of you can say some workarounds or in general we say, right, some jugards, right? I will tell you certain jugards, using that you can just remember this and go for the exam. Before exam, just look into those jugards and go for the exam. If question comes, well and good, you can write the solution. If question doesn't come, then that is the best case, right? So here also we can have something as a worst case or a best case scenario. Best case is you don't get a question on this matrix multiplication, and the worst case is if you get, then we probably you might be knowing the jugad how to solve or how to remember these formulas. Okay, understood, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Since time is very less, I will not go into the solving the problems. Basically, in next class, what I will do, I will take one example plus 2, and using these particular formulas, we will just simply solve it. Okay. Now, I would request you to take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of this formulas. Keep these formulas with you. And tomorrow's class, we will try to solve using this. If you want to try it out at home, you can take any of the matrices, 2 cross 2 matrices, and try to work it out. Calculate using this. Also calculate using the traditional one and see that whether you are getting the same results or not. You should get the same results and you will get the same results. Okay, is that fine?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Fine. Any doubts here as per the related to the concept of this divide and conquer, how it works, how we can work it out here using the matrix multiplication? If there are any doubts, Still, we do have the time. I will take up the questions. Remember few of the things. First is the Strasson's multiplication can be worked on the square matrices of whose element should be of the 2 to the power of certain number. It should be in the power of 2. If it is not in the power of 2, then we have to make it in the power of 2 by adding certain number of empty rows. Empty rows basically means the rows with the 0 values, and these rows have to be added at the end part, at the last rows. And we can add the number of columns also at the end itself, and those column values should be 0 only. So make it a power of 2 matrix, then perform the division or divide the matrices into 4 different quadrants, such a way that you arrive at a matrix or the sub problem of the order 2 cross 2. Once it arrived at a 2 cross 2, then work it out or solve those particular matrices using these formulas and then come. Fine, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine, in that case, you guys can leave the meeting now. If there are any doubts, you can be in the meeting and you can ask your doubts. Otherwise, we will wind it up. I will wait for another minute in the meeting just to take up the questions.